Hello YouTube, and welcome to another moto vlog coming at you from my computer room in Sterling, Virginia. We're not doing a couch vlog thing this time. I just don't have the time. I recorded this video late afternoon yesterday, Tuesday, and I'm putting it together early this morning on Wednesday. And I've got to go to work soon, so I don't exactly have a whole lot of time to sit here and mess with cameras and do this and that and the other. Also, the other reason I didn't want to do it was that by looking at my footage, I wanted you to kind of get a nice look at the dash, since this is a new bike. Get a good look at this dash on my new bike. Can you guess what it is? No, probably not. Well, I think you can see there because I'm looking down like a chump, violating my own rules already, but it is a Honda Forza scooter. It is also known as the Honda NSS 300 in other places, but it's the Honda Forza. They sold it from, I believe, 2014, 2015, and 2016 in the United States. 3 years. So it is a fuel-injected 279, I believe, 279 cc single-cylinder engine. I believe it's air and oil cooled. I could be wrong about that. I've had a hard time figuring out how the engine is cooled. I haven't been able to find any information on that. So if you have any information on if this thing is air cooled, air and oil cooled, or water cooled, whatever, let me know. As I said earlier, it's got fuel injection. It, of course, is a scooter, so it's twist and go, no clutch, no rear brake, pedal. It's, you know, the left lever there is the rear brake. It's got tiny little wheels. It's got crappy little suspension. It's big, though. It is a big bike. It weighs about 425 pounds or so, wet. And its wheelbase is, it doesn't matter what the number is, the wheelbase is like longer than any of the bikes I own. It's the longest bike I have, which is pretty interesting. As you can see now, I'm kind of moving down a little bit here, testing the bike out. Now, these tires I have are 5 years old. It's a little cold out, and I think you're going to see here in a few corners what happens when, yeah, you've got crappy tires and you try to move faster than normal, right? On 5-year-old OEM tires. This is the corner right here, so keep your eyes open. Watch the bars. Look at that sudden, like, jerk, how I got jerked around. That was the front tire having just a little moment and being like, no, 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 and the bars kind of tucked just a bit, and I kind of got, you know, the bike kind of slid. So that was just, well, it was fun, but I didn't crash, so. But it was concerning because, you know, there was nothing there on the road. I watched that video over and over again, that little area, and trying to zoom in and look for stuff. There was nothing on the road. It was just a clean road. So, yeah, it's a new set of tires is going to be a big deal, especially because the chassis and suspension on this bike isn't set up for handling. I'm going to need all the grip that I can get in order to, you know, have this bike perform the way it's supposed to. The pickup on it with a 200 whatever cc, with 270 cc engine or 280 cc engine is okay. The CVT obviously is going to slow things down a bit in terms of acceleration, but it gets up and moves. I mean, I have a section at the end of the video where I go full throttle on Route 7, which is a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit road, and it pulls away faster than any of the other cars, which is pretty funny. But it doesn't exactly inspire, you know, it's not a performance engine. It's not gonna, you know, go fast in any capacity. It is what it is, you know. It's just kind of a slower vehicle, right? And that's kind of why I bought it. So why would I buy a vehicle like this? I think, as you know, I had the Tao scooter, which was a lot of fun when it worked, but getting it to start was always an ordeal. Always an ordeal, playing with the throttle screws and having to crank it a million times, and it just didn't want to work. Here we go, doing some scooter things, cutting up traffic. It just didn't want to work. So I had to bite the bullet and just get rid of it for very little money. And I saw this scooter, which apparently had been sitting on their lot for quite some time. I decided this might be the scooter for me. It was a little more expensive than I wanted to pay, but I kind of just figured if I want to get something that's going to actually last and actually be fun to ride and actually do a good job, it would be better to just spend a little bit of money and get something, you know, that's quality, hopefully quality, you know. The bikes had a couple recalls. I think there was a fuel pump issue, and then something with the oil. And I believe this bike has both the recalls. That would be nice. Yeah, I'm going real slow around here. It looked like the Volvo. I don't know if you saw that, but behind me, it looked like the Volvo was flashing me. So I was like, uh-oh. Maybe there's some deer, maybe there's a cop, maybe there's some kids in the road, you know? But everything was clear, so what I'm thinking is, that old Volvo, the lights were literally, his lights were just flashing as he was going down the road. So I took his messed up car as a sign of warning, which I shouldn't have done, so, yeah. Still having some fun around here. So as you can see, I've been looking down a lot. I kind of forgot that I'm trying to keep my head and my eyes up a lot more than I normally have been. Well, not my eyes, because even when I put my head down, I keep my eyes up. But, like, I want to keep my head up. Not just for the footage, but, again, because it is better. And it's going to make me a safer rider, keeping my head physically up. That way I'm not tempted or even, like, able to look down, really. Compared to if I were to keep my head, you know, pointed more towards the ground. So we're coming to the end of this sector. This is pretty funny. I'm trying to do my scooter thing. I'm just like, yo, come on, we can split. One lane bridge, you know how it goes. But now we're coming down to 7 here, and you can see I get the sun right in my face. There's not much I can do about that in post. It's just white light, and there's no other information there. So, just gonna have to deal with it, sorry. So I go down 7 a bit, mix it up. This part was pretty straightforward. It's just a construction site, no big deal. So now I'm taking off onto the fast part of 7. Now this is going downhill, but as you can see, look at that. I didn't even floor it from the stop. I'm kind of babying the bike. I'm rolled into it smoothly, so the Accord took off a little faster than me. But then when I gave it, you know, the beans, I just passed her back. And now I'm doing maybe 70, 75 miles an hour down the hill. And, yeah. I mean, the bike will go. So, this is the bike. Yeah, I wanted a little around-town bike just to ride. I noticed it gets up to temperature very quickly. That's one of the things I was really hoping for on a bike, just to be able to hop on, ride it 2 feet, and then hop off and not have to worry about it too much. I think this Honda is going to give me that reliability I'm looking for. It's a little heavier and a little bigger than I wanted, but at the same time, that bigness and heaviness means that if I do want to take this bike a little further or do want to take it on faster roads, I've got that capability as well. So I got this great compromise between a small, nimble, let's ride for 5 minutes bike and a bike that I can take for maybe an hour or two if I wanted to as well, or even more. I could ride this thing into DC, I could ride it up into Maryland, or maybe out west a little bit. It really all just depends. Anyways, guys, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. This is my Honda Forza 2014. Great little scooter. I want you guys to be safe out there. And of course, as always, think about your riding.